Hello everyone, today I want to talk about why it's so important to have a revenue recognition expert in your corner. So if you're interested in revenue recognition at all, if you're interested in as a career, if you're an accountant or CPA or on a deals desk, or if you are owning a business and wondering why revenue recognition and ASC 606 has had such a huge impact, I'm just going to give a quick overview in today's lecture. If you have any questions beyond what I covered today, comment below or subscribe, but otherwise I'll jump straight into it. And so when I started my career as a CPA, I started an audit at Deloitte, and I quickly got thrown into very complex revenue transactions because at the end of the day, revenue is one of the most important metrics for companies' valuations. If you're looking at earnings per share data, if you're making any kind of valuation on a company, most of the time, everyone is very concerned with revenue growth, uh, earnings growth, and what that trajectory of the revenue looks like. And so you'll quickly find that this is an audit or in any accounting field, that this is one of the highest risk but also highest reward areas and one of the most technical areas you can get into. Some other technical areas include things like M&A, mergers and acquisition considerations or lease considerations, but revenue is really where I think everyone, including investors, have their main focus for most growing businesses. Now, if you're a mature business, solvency and liquidity ratios and balance sheet assessments are just as important, and managing cash flow with a good treasury department is just as important. But really, most companies, especially growing companies or IPOs, are really focused on that revenue recognition, revenue growth, and that backlog of a company. And so I quickly found, working in tech with tech clients, that there just are not a lot of experts in this field, unfortunately. You really need to know your technical accounting. You generally need to be a CPA with some significant experience, and you also have to be willing to put in long hours, because working on a deals desk essentially is comparable to being like a salesperson with the hours. You have to work with the sales teams, but you also still have to take care of your financial reporting requirements. They generally have different cycles, right? So revenue sales requirements are normally before quarter end, and then revenue recognition regulatory requirements are after quarter end. So you could really be working year round. And what this means is, although not a lot of people want to do the field because of the high stress and high workload, but there's also a drastic need for qualified experts in this area as well. And so it's been one of the most exciting areas for my career, because I've been able to, essentially be in deal negotiations with top executives from companies all around the world in order to determine how we should structure contracts. It's a great way to get plugged in with cross-functional stakeholders and business owners, so you can figure out how to make cross-functional contract structuring. You can figure out how to work with legal counterparts in order to maximize revenue and backlog based on termination rights. You can also, as long as it's in accordance with GAAP, you can also learn how to work with finance on your forecasting and making sure that contracts that you are working through are forecasted correctly. So it's a great way for you to collaborate with finance folks and with sales folks, making sure that you can meet contracts that meet accounting and GAAP requirements while at the same time are meeting sales goals, and making sure that the sales team also stays in compliance while giving them the room to make the negotiations that are needed. And so overview is that it's one of the most interesting areas of accounting, but also one of the most stressful, which has led to this significant lack in expertise in this field and number of experts. And so if you're an accounting student interested in revenue recognition, I highly encourage that you grapple with the field, knowing that it might be a highly stressful job. Or if you're a business executive or someone running a business and you're not familiar with this, I recommend learning about it or hiring an expert. And I'm familiar with, I think, some of the best in the world. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me below. If you want to know some more detail about what revenue recognition means, what a deals desk is, or any of that, feel free to comment below and I'll try to make a subsequent video. But thank you for your time and have a great day.